Hey guys, DIY Maniac here. So we got another video which is going to be on my 2012 Hyundai Santa Fe, and what I'm going to be doing on it is doing an inspection of the interior blower motor. So that's the motor fan, the fan for the interior climate control. I have a bit of a noise, so it's possibly a leaf inside or some other debris. What I did is I already opened the glove box to access the cabin filter. So I'm sure you guys already know how to do that. You can see the cabin filter door back there. Remove the cabin filter and tried blowing it out with air, but the noise is still there. So it might be a little bit of debris stuck in there, or it might be the blower motor itself. So we're going to check that out. So to do that, what we're going to need to do is remove this plastic panel here. So you can see underneath on the passenger side, there's little vent openings with a little bump out, which is for the blower motor, the motor for the blower. And then you're going to have two Phillips screws, one there and one there that need to be removed. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to pick the video right back up. As you can see, once those two screws are removed, this panel, sorry guys, I'm going to try to get some better light for you. Once you remove those two screws, the panel drops down. It's on a little clip in the back that you don't need to unclip. It just pivots out of the way, and that now gives you access to the blower motor itself. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to remove this wiring harness here, which is the power for it. And then after that, we're going to be removing the retaining screws, which are Phillips screws as well. And we got 1, 2, and there's one in the back, which is going to be okay to remove. So I know on my Civic, when I removed that one, my blower motor on that one, to clean it out, the back one was really a pain in the butt, but it looks like it's not going to be too hard. So we're going to remove that wire connector, those 3 screws, and we're going to drop it down, and we're going to check for any debris. So the blower motor's out. You can see it here. So once you get those 3 screws out, the recommendation I give is removing the rear screw first, and then it's easier to get the front 2 when it drops down. So as you can see, it's removed here. Another piece of advice to give you guys, wasn't the case in my situation, because I removed the cabin filter and already knew there was nothing living inside or nest material, but it is possible, depending on the climates you live in, to have mice and different small rodents in here. So be careful when dropping this so you don't get a big surprise. So I didn't really see anything in it. I dumped it out, a few little pebbles fell, which could have been causing it. A little rock stuck in one of the vanes, jumping around. So that will to be determined once I install everything and let it run. It was really only doing it at low speeds, and I think that rock that fell out was the cause, because at low speeds, it's not moving too fast. The rock could jump and hit against the vanes, whereas at high speed, its centrifugal force is forcing it into one of the vanes and not moving. So I'm hoping it was just that little rock. I don't know where it went to show you guys. Another thing you guys should always have is a magnet tray to put all your screws in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this to the bench, and we're going to see if this one is serviceable. I don't think it is, but we're going to find out if we could remove the top cover where the main shaft is coming through the motor, and see if it's serviceable in the way of putting some oil down there to lubricate it. So we're going to bring it to the bench and take a look at that. So I was able to take the cover off. So it's pretty straightforward. There's these little clips, as you see there, that fit over these little tabs coming all around the body, over on the other side as well, and then down on this side here. So you just have to work those off and remove this top cover, which then exposes the inside of the motor, so the coil, the shaft, the electrical connector. So I was spinning it by hand. I didn't really hear anything, maybe a little slight squeak, so maybe some lack of lubrication inside that shaft, which really it means it's failing. You know, once a bearing or the bushing, I think in that it's most likely a bushing, starts to go, it's not much that's going to help it, but we can maybe prolong its life by putting a little penetrating oil into the bushing to help lubricate it and just lessen that squeak, if not eliminate it completely. So we'll do that. It's not going to hurt to do it. So you put a little penetrating oil down there, put the cover back on, and we can even go the next step, because there's going to be a bushing on the other side as well, or bearing, but I'm pretty sure it's a bushing. Yeah, looks like bushing to me. You could then remove this C-clip here, remove the fan itself, and then gain access to the other side of the shaft. And there's going to be a bushing there too to put some penetrating oil. And try to lubricate that. So that's what I'm going to do next. So when you're going to be putting your oil, if you have a small can of oil or just the straw in the WD-40, you can try to be delicate and get it just into the bushing. But you want to protect the surrounding area regardless. So what I like to do is take a shop towel, cover it, just make a hole for where the bushing is, and then take our WD-40 or what penetrant oil of choice and spray it into there to lubricate. So you have the oil. Once the oil's put inside, what I like to do is hold the unit itself and spin it. It's just what you hear the rubbing is just the plastic rubbing, and spin it and really work that oil in to get it inside. And then we'll see if that has any. So you see all I'm doing is spinning it, spin it both ways even, and hopefully you're lubricating that bushing a little more. So now my next step is I'm going to put the cover back on, and then I'm going to turn it around, remove the plastic fan itself to expose the other bushing and lubricate from that side. Well guys, unfortunately I'm not able to remove the fan to access the other side. I removed the little C-clip, retaining clip that was on it. I'm trying to pull it off. The problem is it's all plastic. I tried to softly pry underneath with a flathead screwdriver, but being plastic, I'm worried I'm going to crack this plastic. There's not much of a big area to pry against anyways. Try to pull it off, and I think it's pressed on to a certain extent. I sprayed some WD-40 in there to hopefully serve two purposes. One was to, if there was any corrosion in there or stickiness, to help the fan pop off that shaft easier. And second was, if I can't get the fan off, at least maybe some of the oil could work its way down into that bushing, which I'm not sure it will, because it does have a bit of a travel to make. But yeah, I'm not able to get it off, and I don't want to force it too much, as this is plastic, and break it, and then be stuck having to buy a whole new one, which I may have to do anyways. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Sometimes you just need to know when to stop and not push your luck. But if you guys have any suggestions for me in removing this, maybe there's a better way to do it, please let me know in the comments below. I'd definitely appreciate it. Although I will say one thing, I was spinning it earlier by hand. Hold on, I'm going to put you guys down over here. I was spinning it by hand earlier, and it was making a bit of a squeaking sound. Since I put the oil, it was very mild, so I don't even know if that's what was causing the noise. That little squeaking sound I was hearing is completely gone. I'm not hearing it anymore. So I'm thinking maybe that oil, at least the oil that I put down on this side, aided in getting rid of that squeaking. Whether or not that little squeaking was the root of the noise I was hearing on the inside of the car, I don't know. I'm still feeling it was probably that rock that was inside, but we're going to find out once we installed everything back together. So installation is going to be the reverse of taking out. So you're going to put the fan back in. Start with the two front screws to make your life easy, so you're not under there trying to hold the unit while getting that back screw. Then put the back screw in, put your wiring harness back in, and then the plastic black panel from underneath, put it in. So I'm going to go and do that, and then we're going to take off. I'm going to get in the car, turn the fan on, and we're going to see if that noise is gone, and we'll find out together. So I put the fan back in. I kept the lower cover off just to be able to hear more sound coming from there. And the sound definitely is nowhere near as bad as what it was. It was really like a ticking sound, tick, 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 tick. And now if we turn on the climate control on the low speed, like I said, it was originally the sound was much more pronounced on the first and second speeds. And we can hear there. Pretty much gone. There's still a little sound, but I'm definitely OCD when it comes to sounds in a car, so that might even be normal. I'm just used to my Honda being much more quieter. And if we come up, I think if we go to the higher speeds, you can start hearing it a little bit. I don't know how well you could hear that on the video, but there's a slight, very slight little tinging sound. So I think really it's those bushings that are going bad inside the motor. So eventually it's going to fail or be much more louder, and then at that point I'll change the blower motor completely. So at least that guy gives gives you an understanding of how to remove the blower motor from the Hyundai Santa Fe, the CM generation. So hopefully that helps some of you guys in diagnosing or replacing those fans. So as you see, sometimes just cleaning it out, putting in some oil in those bushings can at least, maybe not, it's not a long-term fix, more of a band-aid, but at least prolongs the life of those motors a little bit longer before you have to replace them. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. As always, everyone says on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and keep looking out for more videos as they come. Thanks a lot, guys.